If one discounts religious texts like the Bible, the Quran and the Vedas, the Republic may well be the most influential book ever written. The 20th century philosopher A.N. Whitehead plausibly claimed that the whole of Western philosophy consists of footnotes to Plato, and the Republic is Plato's principal philosophical work. It was written in the 4th century BCE, but in many places it reads as if it was composed yesterday. It's essentially a discussion about justice conducted by the protagonist, Socrates, a real person and a friend of the author, who'd been executed in the year 399 BCE for corrupting the young, probably a euphemism for asking authority figures challenging questions. Socrates leads the discussion, which quickly generates a cynical attempt at a definition, which Socrates knocks down, that justice is what is in the interests of the stronger. None of Socrates' arguments or refutations is very convincing, but what matters at this point in history is that the questions are being asked and the philosophical method is being applied. At the heart of the book is Plato's well-known theory of forms, the claim that the everyday world in which we all live is in fact illusory, that is nothing more than a degraded copy of a true reality existing in a world hidden to our five senses, which necessarily mislead us, but fully accessible to reasoned thought. Why would Plato or anyone think such a thing? And more importantly, how could any philosophical argument conclude that it's true? In order to answer those questions, we have to depart a little, but not much, from Plato. Imagine someone asked me for 6 kilograms of flour and 5 kilograms of rice. Easy enough, you might think, but no matter how precise my measurements, I can never be sure of ending up with exactly 11 kilograms. And what is a kilogram anyway? Who originally decided? And how did they ensure it wouldn't change over time? By contrast, imagine someone asked me to simply add 6 and 5. That's 11, and there's no room whatsoever for doubt. It's always been true, and it always will be. Moreover, humans seem to have an innate capacity to add, subtract and multiply numbers, even ridiculous numbers no one's ever seen before. Where did that capacity come from? More fundamentally, what are numbers? Are they real? If so, where do they exist? They certainly can't be found in this world. Weirdly, the whole universe seems to be shot through with them. In principle, mathematics could be used to fully comprehend it. In 1960, a Hungarian-American physicist called Eugene Wigner published a paper called The Unreasonable Effectiveness of Mathematics in the Natural Sciences, which essentially claimed that the fit between mathematics and the real world was still a mystery. I'm not saying he was right, of course, although there are plenty of mathematicians and physicists who think he was. I'm simply trying to explain the matter as Plato saw it. Plato thinks there are forms not just for mathematical objects, but also for universal abstractions like beauty and justice, which is where the Republic's discussion about justice terminates. We need a philosopher to tell us about the form of justice, and that person should be in charge of our society. Disturbingly, because true justice is perfect and changeless, what Plato ends up recommending is a version of autocratic absolutism. I don't think anyone today would read the Republic for its conclusions, but I do still think it's a valuable introduction to philosophy, and that it's one of the few books, not least because it's so accessible, that everyone should read.